Slurped it up with your PG tips, my G. Hope you guys are having a productive day with your music. I made some Vital hats. I've dropped them on my Patreon as well, in case you want to download them on the €1 and above tier. But I'm going to show you how I made them. Basically, I like to make hats in a synth, but it's difficult to get them to sound realistic. So I've post-processed them a lot before I bounced out the sample. But here's how I did it anyway. So I start off, it's basically all made from white noise. I'll start off with a white noise triggering a I wanted to do like a fast hat rhythm for like this neurofunk kind of track. So a fast saw down at 1/16 on the level of the white noise. So that's the starting point. Then to get some like groove into the hats, I added another LFO, and I've used the preset called the trance gate, and I've just tweaked it a little bit, and I've put that also onto the level. So we have two LFOs both on the level of the white noise, and we just changed the kind of amount. The second LFO's like got slightly less push on the automation, but if I unbypass this, now it has it's got a bit of a change in the kind of volumes of the hats now. There's a bit more of a marching kind of rhythm going on. I did a little bit of like panning automation, just a tiny bit, to try and get some realism into the hat. Next is all about trying to get a tone out of the white noise. So I've used the comb filter. Okay, and the comb filter gives a little bit of a... It kind of makes it almost a little bit tinny, but we don't need all of the white noise in, so we're sort of taking parts of the white noise out. Then I've done just a little bit of a low cut. So coming in from that filter. There's a bit of movement on this comb filter, as you see here. Trying to get some realism into the white noise. Then I've chorused it a little bit. And then I've added a colouring compressor. That does quite a lot to change the tonality. Low cutting it a bit more, and then another little phaser filter to try and get another bit of another little change in the tone of the white noise. So the phaser positive one there. Then I did a little bit of quite a lot of flanging actually, almost 50%. And then a tight little reverb as well. And then that's basically how the Vital patch ended up. Now, to make it further more realistic, using my favourite plugin in the world, which is the tape, and I've chose a preset on this tape this time, a new one I haven't used before, because they all have such different sounds. And I found one that fitted perfectly, which was called Crisp Pusher, and that really brought to life the hi-hats. I think made him sound really realistic. And it took me ages to cycle through, but I basically just kept cycling through until I found one that made them sound a bit more real. And then I put a transient shaper on because there's loads of noise and stuff, so I took out some of the tail, sort of tightened them up again. And then where in Vital the two LFOs were kind of doing different volume things, the volumes were quite random, so I've just put a compressor on to just control the volume level. So it's a bit more even. And then I've literally just low cut it a little bit more. I've left in a lot of mid-range, so it's got a bit of power there still. And then, yeah, that's basically where I got to. And I was happy because they fit with the kind of beat quite nicely. So I bounced them out here and they kind of fit in my loop here now. You know? Just sort of had the right frequency content, the right sort of level of brightness, the right level of kind of white noise versus like the kind of comb filter and flanger kind of sound in it, and the right amount of tape that sort of messed with the brightness levels in a certain way. So I kind of like was designing them also while listening to the rest of the mix down to see how the different sound design would help it fit into the mix. So that's what I ended up with anyway. But yeah, just in case you want them, and if you're on Patreon, you can download them now. They're already on there. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, my Gs. Hope you're having an amazing evening. I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Much love.